Hello friends, welcome back. So thank you for joining me. If this is your first time visiting, welcome. And if you're returning, welcome back. So I thought that I would share this tumbler with you. This tumbler was such a pretty concept, and I was actually doing a dirty pour with alcohol ink inside of epoxy. So how I do a paint dirty pour, and then put the colors on top of each other and then put it on all together to get the design. And the concept was really pretty. Now I do feel like I used very dull colors. I wish that I would have used some brighter colors, but I still really would have liked this cup. Except one thing. Somehow my tumblers got turned off, and after it spun for a while, it ended up sitting like this, and I have this very thick, hugely thick line of epoxy. It's quite a big bulge there, so there is no way that I can use that. So I am going to, instead of showing you the dirty pour, I am going to go through and sand this tumbler down and reuse the tumbler. So in case you have something that messes up like this, where you have to take off a lot of epoxy, I thought that I would share it with you. All right. So we're going to go out back to the porch. It's where I have all my sanding equipment. And then when I'm actually sanding, I will not have, volume going because it's loud and I don't want you to have to hear that. So I'll turn the volume to nothing. And, and then we'll come back and talk about it after. Okay? I'll see you guys soon. So I have two sanders. I have this belt sander here that I use sometimes. And you can get them for about $60 from like Harbor Freight. But this is the one that I use the most. It has a polishing wheel and then it has a sanding wheel on it. And the pieces you do at a time are a little bit smaller, but I feel like I have a little bit better control with it. And this one is from Harbor Freight also, and it's also around $60. So there are several different ones you can get. So this is what I'm going to use. And additionally, when you are sanding epoxy off, you need to make sure that you're wearing a mask. All right, so I'm going to get sanding, and I'm going to start it on regular and then I'll put it on fast. All right, is that a super fun process? No. However, it works. So that took about, let me see the time. It was probably about 20 minutes, and that included me cleaning up. You see the mess that it left. Like, it definitely makes a mess, so you got to do it someplace that you're okay with that. But you can see how, much better the tumbler is. So now we're going to go out to the garage and we're going to do a quick wet sand on it, and then we'll be ready. So now we got 80 grit sandpaper, and we're just going to put it under the water. And we just want to make sure it's nice and smooth. So I'm not necessarily trying to get the rest of it off. I just want to make sure that everything's nice and smooth. And sometimes, like, using soap with this helps. Do you have any soap though? Can you put some on here? Soap just makes it move a little smoother. So here we go. The whole thing probably took me 30 minutes. Now I know that I have some places that I still have some paint on here, but it's all feathered in. It's fine. Like, everything is completely smooth. And I will paint over top of this. I'll paint over top of it and you'll never be able to tell. So you saw what I use. Now, mine is not necessarily the most, like, convenient, that smaller one. You can buy also like a hand one that with like 40 grit sandpaper that does it, you know, smoother and faster. The reason why I use that particular one is because I have it attached, so I don't have to worry about like holding it and it flying off when I'm trying to sand. So you have to be really careful when you're sanding. And then doing the wet sand though at the end makes such a difference. So I will reuse this cup, and actually I'll use this for the next tumbler that I'm doing, just, you know, so that you can see that, you know, how it looks being used. But anyways, if you know, you're in a spot where you need to use that tumbler and you've, you know, made a mistake, does it suck? Absolutely. Is it a pain in the butt? Absolutely. Is it messy as all get up? Absolutely. However, you can at least, you know, use your cup. You don't necessarily have to sacrifice your cup for bad epoxy. So I hope this was helpful. I hope you have a blessed and beautiful day. And please hit the like button if you haven't already done so. Hit subscribe. And I'll see you guys later, friends. Bye.